Okay, good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. I hope everybody's feeling incredible this morning. My name is Haziq Ali. I want to remind you that tonight, Obsessed with Success is in full effect at 5:15 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you're there. Obsessed with Success is 5:15 p.m. every single Wednesday afternoon. Give me a replay, gang, if you're watching the replay. Um, I believe that you know by now that sometimes we do mindset, sometimes we do skill set. Today is all about heart set. Today we're talking about this ancient art of the apology because most apologies don't work. So this morning we're going to talk about how to fix them. Before we get into that though, rep your city, let them know where you're from. We want to know what kind of business you have. This is like your chance to get free promotion for your business. You know what I mean? Forevermore, your business is going to be right there on the screen for this particular training. As people go back and watch it on LinkedIn, as people go back and watch it on Facebook, YouTube, your business will forever be there, like for all posterity. Your great grandchildren will be able to watch this training and say, this is what kind of business my great grandma Yuli had. You know what I'm saying? Or wow, this is the kind of business my great grandpa Corey had. You know what I mean? Yeah, Miami represent. What's up, Samaya? Let them know what kind of business you have, y'all, and how it helps people. Some mornings we play this game where it's like, tell people what kind of business you have without telling people what kind of business you have. You know what I'm saying? Naptown in the house. Let them know we here. Also, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to this thing. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you care about it, you can follow me on Instagram at Mr. Haziq Ali. Also, if anybody cares, man, we down for some stars, man. Y'all see them stars down there? If you're watching Facebook or one of the Facebook groups, or if you're watching on my timeline, you are able to give stars. Let me add that to one of these joints that I'll be throwing on the screen. Give stars. Like, comment, share, or give stars. All right. So let's get to it, y'all. Let's get to it. It's check-in time. Y'all finished checking in? Yeah, what's up, Daryl? Good morning, Cowrie. Let's go. Let's get it. Tamika, good morning, Queen. I ain't seen you in forever. Yeah, what's cracking? All right, y'all. We about to get it on. Because most apologies don't work. Anybody here ever gotten a crappy apology? Apologies are important in any society. If you've ever gotten a crappy apology, somebody say, I have in the comments. I have, and then give me a share. If you have, then make sure you share this with somebody else because, hey, next thing you know, we're making the world a better place. Because if you've ever gotten a crappy apology, you know that sucks. Children are taught to say, I'm sorry, pretty much as soon as they're capable of putting together a complete sentence. Children hear, no, stop. And they are told to say, I'm sorry, almost as soon as they can fix a sentence. But what's crazy is most of us become adults and our apology skill level don't really improve past that. Can I get a witness? Can I get a witness? A lot of times, apologies that are made by adults are just as insincere and unconvincing as the crappy apologies that you get from children, from little kids. So why are we so horrible at apologizing? Yeah, I see a whole lot of I haves. Keisha's like, I have. It sucks too, right? Joseph's like, I have. Samaya knows what we're talking about. Daryl knows what we're talking about. A bunch of people understand that getting a bad apology is pretty crappy. But ask yourself or ask somebody else if they're offering an apology in a given situation or why they're offering an apology in this certain situation. You know what they're going to say? I'm apologizing because I was wrong. I made a mistake. Somebody's expected to apologize in such situations, or it's the right, mature thing to do. It's the responsible thing to do. And this is the problem, because when your motivation is all based around what it is you're dealing with, you don't really understand the goal of the apology. How about if you consider this? The reason that you're doing this apology in the first place is you must have done something to distress the other person. You must have done something to hurt the other person, offend the other person, startle, anger, frustrate, upset, disrupt another person's equilibrium, disrupt their emotional balance in some way. Can I get a witness? Right? That's the primary goal of your apology, to ease that person's emotional burden and garner their authentic forgiveness. That's the point of the apology. And as a bonus, and this is an important bonus, but it's still a bonus, if your apology is effective, then it'll lower your guilt. But that shouldn't be the main goal. It'll lower your feelings of regret, but that shouldn't be the main goal. You are being a narcissist at the point even your apologies is about yourself. If an apology is going to be effective, then it got to be focused on the other person's needs. If an apology is effective, it got to be focused on the other person's feelings, not your own. Can somebody type that in the comments? Apologies must focus on the other person's feelings. Give it to me, y'all. We're going to pause right there. We're going to pause right there. This is Good Morning Millionaire. Every single morning, we're going to get better, right? That's one of our affirmations. Every day in every way, I'm getting better and better. Here's how we're going to make you better. You're hurting people, man. I'm talking about monthly. Sometimes you hurt people yesterday. You ain't even sure you hurt them, right? Check it out. Somebody give it to me. Somebody give it to me. If it's an apology, it's got the focus. Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that transparency right there. Somebody say a real apology must focus on the other person's feelings. A real apology has to focus on the other person's feelings. If an apology is going to be effective, it can't be focused on your own vibes. This fundamental misunderstanding of who should be the focus of the apology is the reason you hear so many crap apologies from politicians or athletes or other celebrities. They always sound blatantly insincere. They offer them publicly. They're doing what it feels like they were told they're supposed to do. But the same reason is why a bunch of our stuff is so ineffective. We ain't trying to make the other person feel better. We trying to make ourselves feel better. So here are some keys to constructing an effective apology, right? Because what are apologies? Apologies are the tools that we use to acknowledge violations, right? We violated some social norms, some social expectation. We're taking responsibility for the impact that our actions might have had on other people. We're asking for their forgiveness. And by doing so, hopefully, we can kind of repair ruptures in a relationship. Am I making sense? Hopefully, we can restore that social standing, that social status, and ease the feelings of guilt, lower the feelings of regret. Somebody feel me? So, if we're going to create this type of apology, if we're going to create this kind of vibration, then what it kind of implies is that an effective apology has got to have certain elements in it. Y'all ready? Somebody give it to me. One, a very clear "I'm sorry" statement. That's the first thing. Somebody type that out for me. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Everybody that's playing along and engaging. Apologies must focus on the other person's feelings. That's exactly right. Apologies must focus on the other person's feelings. Appreciate everybody. All right, here's the first element, y'all. A clear "I'm sorry" statement. A clear "I apologize" statement, right? Come on, give it to me. That's the first one. That's the first one. Somebody give it to me. And then give me a share. A clear apology statement. Right? Somebody give it to me. That's the first element. A clear apology statement. Here's the second element. Somebody write this out. An expression of regret. An expression of regret for what happened. That's the second element you're always going to have in a good apology. Right? So first, it's a clear apology statement, like, yo, I'm sorry. Yeah, a clear apology statement. And then the second one is an expression of regret for what happened. An expression of regret for what happened. That's the second part. Appreciate that, Yolanda. Appreciate that, Samaya. Let's go, Desiree. The second one is an expression of regret for what happened. Here's the third one. An acknowledgement that social norms were violated, right? Social expectations got thrown off a little something, something. That's the third one. An acknowledgement that some standards were violated. an acknowledgement some standards were violated, right? So the first one is a very clear apology statement, right? The second one is an expression of regret for what happened. The third one is an acknowledgement that some social norms got violated. The fourth one is what we call an empathy statement. This is the one, an empathy statement. This is where you acknowledge the full impact of our actions on the other person. The full impact, not some lazy thing you can pick out right away because they just done told your butt. But I'm talking about empathy. This is why we got this feeling wheel up here. If you need the feeling wheel, holler at me. First level of emotional intelligence is you being able to recognize your own emotions. Second level is managing relationships. That's what we're doing right now. We managing relationships. To do that, managing your own emotions. The third level is being able to identify the emotions in other people. Fourth level is managing relationships. And the fifth level is being able to motivate yourself to do what it is you need to do. So this fourth part of an apology, what we call this empathy statement, this is important. This is where you're acknowledging the full impact of what it is you're going through. The full impact. So step number 3 was an acknowledgement that social norms were violated. And then step number 5 is when we're talking, we want to know the full, we want to acknowledge the full impact with this empathy statement. We want to acknowledge the full impact that we've had on this other person. And then the fifth element, y'all, is a request for forgiveness. Somebody type that in and give me a share. The fifth element is a request for forgiveness, a request for forgiveness. Now, to me, the most important of all 5 of these, and sadly, the one that we tend to leave out the most, is the empathy statement. That's the one, y'all. In order for the other person to truly forgive us, and you tell me if you can resonate with this. You tell me if this makes sense to you. When you were being asked for forgiveness, how can I forgive this person? How can you forgive this person if they don't even know what they did wrong and they may do it again later on today? Right? How can we truly forgive? If we're going to truly forgive, then we have to get this vibe that they get what happened, that they get us, that they get the full implications of the actions on us. Is that fair? And all I'm saying is, if you're going to do that convincingly, it's a little bit harder than it might seem. So I'm going to give y'all an example. All right. So let's just say you had a horrible day at work, right? Some of y'all are like, all right, check. That part ain't so hard. All right, so here's the setup. You had a horrible day at work. You're in a terrible mood. You get home too late. You're too wiped out, too irritable to go to your good friend's birthday party. Plus, you're like, your presence while you're in a bad mood is probably going to ruin everything. So why ruin the event for everybody else? You're just going to be a downer. You wake up the next morning flooded with guilt. You wake up flooded with regret. You feel even worse when you realize you didn't even let nobody know you wasn't coming. It's apology time. Everybody with me? So what points do we need to cover in this apology so that they get the full impact, that they get that we understand the full impact of our actions on them? If we care enough about this person, y'all, that's right, because number 5 was a request for forgiveness. Appreciate that, Samaya. Samaya, hold me down. Thank you. Check it out, y'all. If you've been following along, then maybe the first thing we want to do is make a list of the points that we should mention, right? Maybe you write down a full list. What is all the people? Yeah. I love that. Check it out, y'all. What are all the different pieces? What are all the different elements that you need so that you can kind of, make sure you nail this apology? Here are the 5 ingredients. You ready? Here we go. 1, I am so incredibly sorry. Boom, knocked out number 1. Here's number 2, that I didn't make it to your birthday party last night. Boom, 2 of them knocked out, right? 3, what is number 3? An acknowledgement that some standards were violated. So here we go. We did our sorry statement, right? Everybody with me? So far, we've done our sorry statement. So far, we've done our expression of regret for what happened. And number 2, we mentioned what happened. Here's number 3. I had a terrible day and I was in such a bad mood that I went to bed. But there's no excuse for not showing up and for not even calling to tell you I wasn't coming. Y'all see that? That's an acknowledgement that some standards have been violated. Usually you're supposed to call somebody, right? You like Desiree said, you can't just be a no call, no show. So we got to acknowledge that, right? Here's the fourth one. Y'all ready? Here's the empathy statement. I want you to check this. I want you to check this out. I can only imagine how upset and hurt and disappointed and angry you must feel. I know how much work you put into that party. You must have been wondering where I was and when I would show up. And I'm sure people asked you where I was. I feel terrible for putting you in such an awkward and embarrassing position. I hope you weren't worried and that you were able to still enjoy yourself when I wasn't there. I cannot believe, I feel awful that my selfish behavior affected your mood, your night, the party in any way. And I'm so sorry I wasn't there for you as a friend should be, and that I wasn't able to be at your side to celebrate your birthday. That's an apology. You hear me? And then at the end, you finish that joint off, right? You finish that because now we're asking for forgiveness. We end that joint off. I know it might take a while, but I just hope you'll be able to forgive me. Boom! That's an apology. That's an apology, right? So we went through all those different elements. And in that empathy statement, I named like 16 different things. Believe it or not, that was like 16 different empathetic points. I'm going to touch something, right? You're going to touch something. Who the heck is that empathetic? Who has that emotional intelligence? Not many people. So now you just stood out. I don't care if you're apologizing to a customer, a client, a lover, a spouse, a sibling, a parent, a child. You hear me? You lay out 10, 15, 20 different points that you imagine they must feel, and you just nailed that apology. Let's run through them. I was like upset. I was like hurt. I was like disappointed. I was like angry you must feel. I was like, I know how much work you put into the party. I was like, you must have been wondering when I would show up. You must have been wondering where I was. I'm sure people asked you where I was. I feel terrible for putting you in such an awkward and embarrassing position. I hope you weren't worried and that you were able to enjoy yourself even though I wasn't there, and that you were able to I had selfish behavior, because this is all the stuff they're thinking. They're thinking, man, I was hurt. They're thinking you were selfish. I was wondering where you were. Everybody with me? You can rewind it, man, but just count them up, because it might feel a little bit intimidating to you to own up to bad behavior so completely. But I'm here to tell you, this is going to grow the trust between you guys. It's not only going to mend these important relationships, it's not only going to ease these feelings of guilt, but taking responsibility and doing the right thing starts to grow your self-esteem. You start to feel more empowered. You feel more like a man. You feel more like a woman, right? Now, with that said, be aware, effective apologies, especially effective empathy statements, you're going to need to practice. You're going to need to practice. And check it out. If you know any politicians, athletes, celebrities who screw up, now you got some good game for them. You now got 5 different elements of an apology that you can use. Was this helpful, y'all? Scale of 1 to 10. How helpful was this? Was it? Yeah, Morose. Scale of 1 to 10. How did that feel? Scale of 1 to 10. How did that feel? Give us some stars, some likes if you felt that joint. If you give it a 10, that means you're definitely going to use what you learned here today. If you give it a 10, that means you're definitely going to use something you learned today. What you get at things, scale of 1 to 10. How to give an apology. How to give a real apology. Yeah. You got to be real in order to heal. I heard that. They say you can't heal what you don't reveal. We only as sick as our secrets. Yeah. Good stuff. Let's go. Okay. A lot of 10s coming in. I love that. I appreciate it. Somebody get that thing a 20. Yeah, Barbara. Good. Oh, good, Desiree. That's so dope. Desiree, if you're listening on the phone line, Desiree was like she owes her daughter an apology. So this is right on time. I love that. Good. Cowrie was like, yo, this is right on time. She need to work on this. I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah, Hope, I'm glad you made it in this morning. Good. All right, y'all, we out of there. Yeah. I needed this. I must apologize for something that was not my fault. Okay, all right. All right, good stuff, man. We'll give it some stars. Yeah, we only as sick as our secrets. Ain't that cold, Barbara? You can only heal what you reveal. You can't heal what you don't reveal. Good stuff, good stuff. All right, y'all, it's affirmation time. Let's get it. Let's get it. Tonight at 5:15 p.m., we're doing Obsessed with Success. If you like, what am I talking about? Make sure you join the text message service. We always do these hour-long classes on Wednesdays that give you the stories, the strategies, and the secrets that are best to ever do it. So get involved. Get involved. All right. Repeat after me, y'all. Say it like you mean it. Repeat after me. Say it like you mean it. Let's go. Let's go. You ready? Let's go. Let's go. I am so happy and grateful